Guys, there is a ton of electric cars you can buy in China. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of different models. There's 91 different EV companies in China, which is insane. It can't last, obviously. Some of them will go bankrupt, but to be honest, I mean, even when some of them do go bankrupt, these investors come along and just basically resuscitate these zombie car companies from the dead. The Chinese government doesn't like the fact that they do it, and it does affect one thing. Some consumers buy these cars and they get burnt and they think, well, I'm not buying an EV again. That thing was a bucket of junk. Some of them really are. Some of them have lead acid batteries, very cheap, and they're not worth talking about. I don't even talk about them on the channel, but I do know they exist. I've looked at a lot of them on different online sales forums where you can buy them. Yeah, you can even buy them if you're in America. You can get them shipped to you. They'll happily ship you whatever the hell you want from China. You want something, they'll ship it. But some of them you don't want to buy. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. And this is kind of giving you good evidence of, you know, that situation in China. The Tesla Model 3 complaint rate is the lowest among China's best-selling EVs in the first quarter of this year, right? Some of this stuff is measured complaints, and there are some vehicles that a lot people really complain about a lot. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Really appreciate you guys. YouTube members, we do have now member-only videos, so if you want to check those out, I'll put a link in the description below. The Tesla Model 3 has been a very reliable car in China. Not just reliable, its build quality is excellent. The Model 3 Highland build quality is excellent. People are still making these comments online saying Tesla Model 3 or Tesla vehicle build quality is bad. You know, the surfaces aren't good. There's all these problems and issues. That is completely wrong, right? That is just completely false. Honestly, if someone says that, I equate them to being someone who's like a hardcore Trump supporter. They don't like facts, right? They prefer nonsense. Don't get me wrong, some things Trump says are true and factual, but a lot of things he says are not. So if you're going to go walk around saying build quality on Teslas is shocking, completely untrue, the Chinese citizens are telling you you're full of shit. Basically, you're completely making this stuff up. Yeah, maybe some vehicles made from the American factory, different story. Keep in mind though, right? The US factory makes a lot more cars than the American factory. So the predominant likelihood of you having an EV that's made in America is very low, right? It's very, very, very low now. Basically, you're looking at Germany and China that are supplying the global market for Tesla. So if you're hearing this comment from anyone outside of America, it's completely false. In America, yeah, okay, there's still build quality issues with some American-made cars, but you're not going to get an American-made car if you're not in America. Anyhow, the Model 3, as highlighted by Tesla Global Vice President Grace Tao in a post on social media, on Weibo, Chinese social media, was listed as the vehicle with the lowest complaint rate among China's best-selling EVs in the first quarter. In fact, not just EVs, all cars. The Tesla VP shared a graphic in her Weibo post noting that the Model 3's complaint rate was only 5% of the segment's average. In other words, the average complaints were 95 times greater for non-Model 3 vehicles. Part of this is Tesla's app. Its ecosystem is the best in the industry. That's been voted on by Jayco Dynamics and by consumers. But it's also the fact that the Chinese-made factory makes extremely good quality product. And guys, the new Highland vehicle, I've seen lots of reviewers now say this is a luxury car. It doesn't matter if you want to argue that it's not, and I know a lot of EV fans say Teslas are not. A lot of people are saying the quality, the materials are so good that they consider it to be a luxury car, the new Tesla Model 3 Highland. Now, could you say that about the Model Y? Probably not really, I don't think. But with the new version of the Model Y, it's going to get the same upgrades and more than the Model 3. So that will be a huge step in the right direction. In Tesla's first mass market car, the Model 3 was the vehicle that basically made Tesla. I mean, it did. Realistically, how many people bought a Model S? Not many, right? The Model 3 best-selling EV worldwide in terms of total number of sales for any model of car over the past, well, for history. The Model 3 it obviously doesn't sell as well as the Tesla Model Y because it's a sedan. There's still a lot of them being sold though. Now, if you have a look at this list, this graphic here posted on social media here, it's incredible. It shows all the complaint rates here. And you've got some shocking ones here, 97.7 now for some of these car companies here. But just looking down the list, you can see Cadillac. The Cadillac CT5 is one of the most complained about vehicles in all of China. Pretty terrible there. Then you've got, say, Aeon. Aeon very close to Tesla. Very, very few complaints for Aeon's EV, the Aeon S. I've mentioned that a few times on the channel. Aeon's really, really good. By the way, they will be selling their cars globally. Mini EV, not many complaints about the Mini EV. The MG5, kind of not too bad at 32 versus, you know, say some of the worst cars on here, which have 97.7. But this list here gives you an idea. Now, if you look over to the right here on this sheet, guys, you can see cars like the Aeon S, and then you got the Chang'an Lumen. That's actually a very cheap Chang'an Lumen. That starts at $6,000 US. Very few complaints about the Chang'an Lumen. And then if you look down the list here, you can see you've got the Hyundai Elantra. Very few of those are sold. It's not really a relevant car in China. The Volkswagen Bora, though, 18.4. It's doing really well, even though it has more than 3 times as many complaints, right? This is crazy. The Bora is about, what, 9th place here? And it has more than 3 times as many complaints as the Tesla Model 3. The Audi A3, you can see here, has 6 times more complaints than the Tesla Model 3. The Volkswagen Passat, about 7 times more. Yeah, looking down this list, what are the worst offenders? Cadillac CT5, Audi A4, and the Cruise. I believe that's the GM Cruise. So guys, yeah, it's very interesting to see this stuff. You know, BYD do really, really well with their EVs as well. Very few complaints for BYD's EVs. BYD's plug-in hybrids, though, do seem to get quite a few complaints for those. Much less reliable than BYD's electric cars. Worth mentioning, guys, if you're going to buy a BYD car outside of China, keep that in mind. BYD's EVs, they're much more reliable than BYD's plug-in hybrids. And that's something customers are becoming more aware of in China. Thank you for watching.